Hello, I'm Garrett Cook, the author of Time Pimp, Jimmy Plush Teddy Bear Detective, Archelon Ranch, and Murderland. I'm going to talk to you today for a while about the 1964 Doctor Who serial, The Daleks. It's from Season 1 of Doctor Who. It's one of the earlier stories with William Hartnell as the Doctor. Those of you who don't know about Doctor Who, it's a show about a time-traveling fop from a race of time-traveling fops. He accompanies attractive young ladies through space and time, usually thwarting aliens, oftentimes with lecturing. In this case, the particular nemeses he's thwarting and fighting against are the Daleks. The Daleks are an interesting species of monster because on the surface they seem quite pathetic. In fact, they are quite pathetic. A lot of monsters kind of are. Vampires, for example, are pathetic because they don't have life force of their own and they need to draw off of others. Werewolves are pathetic because it's a human being who occasionally loses oneself to monstrosity. There's something pathetic about all monsters. Something pathetic about evil itself. The Daleks kind of embody this. A Dalek is sort of a conical tripod-shaped cylindrical robot with a plungery laser cannon and a telescopic eye. But Daleks aren't themselves robots. They're actually a race of aliens that have to live inside a robotic suit because they ruined their own planet and can't survive in the atmosphere of other planets. Inside the robotic suit, a Dalek looks kind of like this. Yeah. It's pretty disgusting. Pretty pathetic. Looks sort of like a mound of octopi. And I'm really glad I had a mound of octopi on hand to show you, so you have that visual aid. Anyway, so the Daleks. The Daleks is from 1964, and it's interesting to see Doctor Who in black and white, because when you watch the new series, it's so bright, so colorful, so incredibly vibrant, and when you watch it from the 70s, it's just full of candy-coated madness. But it's very different atmospherically in the first season. It harkens back to stuff like Forbidden Planet, even though Forbidden Planet's in color, it's kind of candy-coated. And the Quatermass experiment, Colossus of New York, Gog, all those, like, wonderful 50s and early 60s science fiction films. It's a very different genre than the sort of Muppety monsters of the 70s, or the, like, urban fantasy-infused Doctor Who of the 21st century. The Daleks is about the Doctor and his present companions. The Doctor is William Hartnell at the time. He's an older gentleman. He's kind of vacillates between being wacky and sagacious. And with him are Barbara and Ian, his granddaughter's teachers. Yeah, the Doctor at the time had a granddaughter. So, you young ladies jilling off to David Tennant, you remember that's somebody's grandpa. But anyhow, so they're traveling in the TARDIS, the Doctor's phone booth-shaped spaceship-y thing. I don't know why I spent so much time explaining Doctor Who to all of you. If you're watching this video at all, you have some interest in it. Or else you're just here to leave non sequiturs about Obama and ask, what the fuck is this? Like most YouTube commenters are. YouTube commenters are themselves somewhat like a Dalek. They're a pathetic, shriveled creature inside, hiding behind a cybernetic shell. So if you're one of those commenters, you probably don't care what I have to say at all, and you just want to talk about, just want to have some non sequitur about Obama, or ask what the fuck this is. What is this? This is a cult novelist drinking Jim Beam and rambling about Doctor Who. That's what this is. So anyway, back to drinking Jim Beam and rambling about Doctor Who. So the Doctor and Barbara and Ian and the Doctor's granddaughter Susan, it's kind of a funny Time Lord name, Susan, but whatever, end up on the planet Skaro. The planet Skaro is a cool, atmospheric, fascinating place. There's a petrified forest. There's lizards that have turned metallic. The whole planet is a metallic wasteland. It's kind of a horrific and surreal place, which is where a Doctor Who story starts, at a horrific and surreal place. And while they go to investigate Skaro, they discover an underground metallic city. And when they go to investigate this city, they find that they're not alone. And for the first time ever, you see a Dalek. A Dalek in black and white is a very different thing. A Dalek just kind of at first from POV, and then suddenly you see the plunger and you hear that high nasally voice for the first time. A Dalek is actually a thing of terror in this case. There is a little shudder to be had. Nowadays it's trendy to make fun of them. It's trendy to talk about their silliness and how they're vulnerable to stares, and they are vulnerable to stares. Stares is a stupid weakness to have. But they do. But in this case, yeah, they're a little spooky. They're a little atmospheric, and it's, and they capture the Doctor, and they capture his companions. And the companions and the Doctor start suffering from radiation sickness. So they send out the Doctor's granddaughter Susan to go back to the TARDIS to gather some things. And when she goes back to the TARDIS, what she finds is she finds that some drugs have been left for her. She goes and she goes to take the drugs, and she finds the other race that lived on the same planet as the Daleks, the Thals. The Thals are kind of a utopian race of beautiful Aryan hippie folk, a la the Eloi in the Time Machine. The Daleks and the Thals went to war. A neutron bomb was dropped, so nobody fucking won. That's what happens when you drop a neutron bomb. Nobody wins. So kids, don't drop a fucking neutron bomb unless you want to live inside of a conical, silly metal shell that can't negotiate stairs. This is a very important lesson to all of us. Nobody wants to live in a conical, silly metal shell that can't fucking negotiate stairs. Now, do we? No, of course we don't. So, anyway, she talks to the Thals, and the Thals are actually thrilled to hear that the Daleks are still alive in the city. They didn't know this. And Susan is thrilled that the Thals have this drug to make them immune to Dalek radiation. And Susan returns with these facts to the Daleks. And Daleks are dicks. They like to exterminate things, and say exterminate a lot. though they don't say exterminate for a few episodes of the serial. The Daleks pretend that they're going to, that they want to help out the Thals. But of course they don't. They want to exterminate the Thals, because Daleks fucking exterminate, and that's what they do. And from here, you see just how dangerous the patheticness of the Dalek makes them. Their weakness is that, like a lot of people who succumb to evil, who succumb to genocidal urges, they really have nothing left to live for but their own poison. And they want to poison the atmosphere, and they want to make the world only negotiable and only livable for Daleks. So they're about to, they go to stop, to stop the Thals and fill the atmosphere with radiation, fill the atmosphere with their poison, in a sad Cold War allegory. This is 1964, remember that this came out. And it's dark and it's poignant. And it unfortunately comes down to kind of a solution that's in kind of a non-space. But, which everything is basically resolved with shoving. The Thals show up and they start shoving the Daleks and bring themselves in front of their scopes and stuff, and it's all rather, sad and banal. And that's, but the Doctor gives a lecture on, on social responsibility, and then it ends. All in all, I think it's a good, surprisingly dark, surprisingly atmospheric piece of work. I liked it. If you're a Doctor Who fan, you'll probably enjoy it as well. So that's what I have to say about the Daleks. It's dark, wonderful, early Who. And that's that. Next time I'll talk about, I'm going to be watching and talking about the Auton Terror, which introduces the Master, another iconic Doctor Who villain. And that's that. Yep. So, thanks. Bye.